Hello and welcome everybody to my another workshop per se. Except today we're not doing character creation. We're not going to talk about alignments or world building today. We are going to talk about very simply put, we are going to you're going to see me be a dork. Okay? I don't know how else to really put that. So, yeah, watch me be a dork. Here we go. I'm going to dork myself out here. Give me 1 second. I'm loading something. I've been having some issues, and I don't really want to talk about it with, but it looks like this program, this is going to work just fine. Haha, but it won't work with my photos. Resizes. I said resize. This is the map, in case any of you guys are wondering, if you guys can see it. If you can't see it, I do apologize for me talking about it, but you should see it now. Actually, let me blow that up just a little bit. There we go. This is the world map. Or, in this case, the regional map, which, if you guys are wondering why it looks so grayscale, it's because it's supposed to represent snow and the goddamn Arctic. Excuse my language. The Arctic. We are in a frozen wasteland. I don't know why, but, it's the what we generated. Oh, hey. Before we get going here, we do got a couple of announcements here. Number one, Archer Colin. Thank you so much for showing up. Told you, sorry we did run into a bit of a snag. For some reason, my Photos program won't work with OBS. I don't know if it's Photos or if it's OBS, but one of the two aren't liking the other one. So, and basically his question for Archer Colin was like, did you get lost on the way to the end? Probably. It's a freaking, let me ask you guys something. If your characters were in a place like this, where it's all snow and ice and glaciers, yeah, I'd get lost on the way to the end too. Probably couldn't see what's in front of my face with all that snow. And I got supreme hatred with the snow right now because, I live in an Arctic wasteland myself. In actual real life, no, I live in fucking, excuse my language, but I live in I live in a region where we get snow, and I hate it. I don't know why I still live here, but I do. See if I can help you later with that. Oh, yes, Jace. And then my good friend, Jace Fox. You guys have heard me talk about Jace in the past. I've always promoted him. Yeah, I'm going to figure that out myself. It's weird. Very judging background, by the way. Yeah. The dungeon is actually the Crossbones Archer. See, we're going to start, our characters are going to start off in this little town over here, where there's also a frozen river. I don't know about you guys, but ice fishing is very scary. But I like it. Alright, so, excuse me everybody. I had the same problem too with OBS. Okay. Yeah, it's probably fixable. I just couldn't fix it in such a short time. I woke up, took a nap, woke up, and ugh. So, alright, so let's begin. Alright, so you guys remember watching our past workshop videos. You guys remember seeing me create 4 characters. Sir Brian of Eggsample, the great human knight who is of noble lineage. I don't know if he is of noble lineage. Noble lineage. Yeah. So to answer your question without going too far, Archer, before we get too much into this conversation, with the programs. The only reason why I quit with StreamYards is because they wouldn't let me do everything I wanted to do. Sadly. And it's not that they wouldn't let me do everything I wanted to do. It's just it doesn't have the capabilities that OBS does. But then again, there's some things that StreamYards makes easier that OBS makes me do by hand. OBS is my bane right now. It's like I'm smacking around like it's my bitch. But anyway, we're not going to talk about it. Anyway, so Sir Brian of Eggsample, human knight of the town of Eggsample. By the way, Eggsample is not in the Arctic. I cannot believe that he would be a lawful evil knight and had the same ideals he would have living in an Arctic wasteland like this. I think he would be more drastic. He'd be more towards chaotic evil knight. He'd be a dark knight. He'd be. Well, he won't be the Batman or the Bat Knight, but he would not be he wouldn't be lawful evil. I'm sorry. Getting in a wasteland like this would be kind of. Yeah, no. Anyway, moving on. And then we have the great Lia Siannodel. I can never say her name, but it stands for Moonbrook in Elvish, which is translated from, D&D stuff. Alright, so she's an elf rogue who has joined the party and Sir Brian in his noble quest to go to this dungeon from here to here. And I'll tell you how much these hexes cost in a minute. And the noble quest. However, she's out for herself, and she is, She plans on she has this scheme in her mind. Just keep it in the background. She has a scheme in the mind that if Sir Brian gets in the way, she is going to kill him in his sleep. She probably can't take him head on because he's a little bit more stronger. He definitely has a lot better strength than she does. She's got 7 strength. He's got a 14 strength. But yeah, she would definitely. She's waiting for the opportune moment to strike and see how much Brian gets in her way. And then you have the wise and noble. He's not really wise, but he's very smart. Sorry. He's got a 17 for intelligence. He's very charismatic, too. He's good looking. Gimble, a gnome wizard who has joined Sir Brian and Lia on their noble quest. You know what? I should just put the character sheets up here, too. Let's see if I can do that. Sorry, I didn't really think about doing that until just now. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright, let's see if I can short that down. Short that down. Short that up there. There we go. See, look at that. Look at that. Alright. Now we got a lot of things on the page, I know, right? And I'm practicing. I'm practicing because this is what we're using for the future Castles Crusades game, is this program here. And this background. My great props to Ironcaster. He made this for me. So, if you don't know who Ironcaster is, please go to his channel and please leave a like and subscribe. And since I'm promoting him on my current stream, I will be definitely putting his link in my description. Alright, so, Gimble, a wizard gnome, who's very smart. He just wants his freedom, and he's just out to search for, let's see, what's part of his personality? He doesn't care. He just wants to be free. He's a good guy, I guess. And then Henk, the Half-Orc Bard, who seeks glory by going out on an adventure with these guys, not knowing who they really are, probably being the stupid one of the bunch. He's got an average intelligence. He's not even very good charismatic. Doesn't got the greatest strength, but he's just out trying to seek adventure and to write songs about it and become a major celebrity in the land. So he comes with them on the noble adventure in the Arctic. Probably not the most ideal. Our 4 intrepid adventurers here land into this small town called Iceland. Iceland is a real place. Just want to let everybody know, I think. We'll just call this Ice Town. Or Frozen Town, or whatever. You know, that's what we're going to establish it. It's grody, I get it, but it is. So our 4 intrepid adventurers walk into an inn in this ice town. Frozen tundra. They came on a ship that's probably off of one of over here, and they probably had to travel some ice. I mean, bear in mind, there's ice all over the place, so they probably had to, you know, probably come from the south, so they probably had to travel up this way a bit through the ice to get here to find the noble dungeon, which, if they came this way, they already walked past it. But, you know, hey, who says they're... I don't think anyone here is the most wisest. No, they got an 8 to 12 wisdom between between the four of them. This is going to be interesting. All right, so they are all at the inn, and here's me being a dork. They will all walk into the inn. It's cold. The wind is blowing all throughout the inn as the door opens. People look as they're covering their drinks and hovering over candles of fire of light, just sitting over their tables. The bartender goes up and, "Hey, close that door." As soon as everybody enters, Sir Brian, so quietly, slams the door. The room falls silent as you hear the clink of Sir Brian's, feet. I don't know, I can't make clink sounds. It's like his armor's clinking and he sits down at the bar. And he goes, "Bartender, do you have anything to drink to warm the blood of a noble knight?" And of course he goes, "Well, we don't get much bars in this one. We have to distill our own liquor here. Shipment and trade is low, so here, Sir Knight, hopefully cup of mead." And it's actually warm. They have to do their own thing, so. He says, usually something like that would probably be a couple gold pieces, silver pieces, but given that this is a desert land, I'm going to say the economy's up, so it's going to cost him 2 gold pieces, so he's down to 45 gold pieces left. And Sir Brian pays with 2 gold pieces. What the hell just fucking happened? Okay. Sorry about that. If you guys lost me for just a brief moment. It looked like my OBS just... excuse my language, but looked like my OBS just did that. Anyway. Alright. So, Sir Brian just paid with 2 gold pieces. And now he's down to 45. He started at 47. And he drinks his hot cup of mead. Now, mead is something you guys can look up. I don't think it's actually served hot. It's just... in here they do a little bit something, and I know that mead is a very tough drink to actually get around. Just trying to add some flavor to an Arctic wasteland. I'm not sure if they would have regular liquor there, especially when they're always cold. The next character that gets to take a turn will be Lia. Lia doesn't have a lot of gold to her name, so she sits alone in a corner, away from everybody else. She does stare at the tenders to see what kind of what kind of packages they carry on them. And by packages, I mean literally just packs of gold. So she's going to roll her wisdom as a form of rolling her perception. She does not have perception as a skill or anything like that, but she's going to see what her wisdom rolls. Now this is where the mechanics start coming in. And I'm going to pull up Lia's character sheet because this is pertinent. Lia carries, let me see if I can get my cursor up here. Okay, so this is Lia's wisdom. It's a white dot. She has a 12 and a 0 to it. All right. So that means she's not is your wisdom, which is going to be carrying perception, and I'm willing to bet that's what perception or spot checks carry. Let me check. And I do use some of the skills from D&D and Pathfinder, so hang on, I'm going to look that up just to make sure it is wisdom. Yep, it is wisdom. Okay. So she's not very skilled in looking at things. So, it's not her primary. So, unfortunately, she's going to need to give me, at the very least, with a place like this is going to be an average, just an average roll. She's going to have to score an 18 or better on a dice roll with no modifiers. She scores a 10. She does not see anyone carrying any sort of packs, nothing that she can grab. So unfortunately for her, she is lucked out. She is probably not going to order anything to eat for a while until she can get underway for her adventure. So Lia spends her moment, her turn, just sitting in a corner, staring at everybody else in the bar. Or the tavern, excuse me. And then that leaves Gimble, the smart wizard, who knows how to take care of things. And he goes up and he says, "Good day, sir. Do you have any wine? Any wine, sir? It is much too early for mead. I would like some wine." And the bartender goes, "Well, most of the wine around here kind of freezes. It's a little bit cold. I mean, very little alcohol content in it. Are you sure you want whatever wine I can serve you? It'll be very cold." And Gimble goes, the colder the better. Please, give me some wine." "All right. Well, it's also very rare, so I'm going to have to charge you the same as for the mead. 2 gold pieces." "Will do." And Gimble tosses 2 gold pieces on the table. Knocks him down to 31 gold pieces. He starts at 33. And then there's Henk, the Half-Orc Bard. He goes up to the bar and goes, "It's much too early for drink. I think it's time to listen to a jaunty tune." And I don't think I'm going to sing for you guys, because then this could be used for probably potential bad uses of, "Hey, here's Tabletop Junkie singing, everybody." Should we? So he starts playing a jaunty tune on his mandolin. Let's see here. Something to help perk up everybody's way. All right, so yep, he does have performing arts at 1. This would be a charisma check. So we'll see if he can get some money just for this. Maybe someone can buy his drinks for him. So he does have a charisma, and it is his primary. It's 12, so no modifier there. And he is going to use his performing arts skill. So he needs to score 11 or better. He's going to sing, "A bear it was, a bear, a bear. A bear that had a head full of hair." No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's the best. That's the best you guys are gonna get. I'm no singer and I'm no songwriter, so that no one's gonna hear me sing. And Archer Collins said, "Well, the nights can be very dark and long that far north." Yeah, that is true. I have never been to Alaska, but I hear they do have 30 days of nights. If someone sees this stream that's from Alaska, could you let me know if that's actually true? I'm actually curious to know. Aho! And he succeeds by over 5. Oh yeah, wow. He starts singing and people start dancing in the inn. So yeah, and someone bought him his own drink without spending any gold. Imagine that. Was not any of his comrades, I'll tell you that much. Lia. Okay, so going back to Sir Brian. To let everyone know, I should have probably said this before, but Sir Brian is a human knight with black hair and blue eyes. He's kind of skinny, so he's got a slender build. But he stands about 6 foot, but he's slim. Probably should have mentioned that. Lia is, in case anyone doesn't know, Lia stands about 5'7". She's about average with blonde hair and blue eyes, and she's an elf, so she's got pointy ears. Gimble is also like 3'5", and he's got a stocky build, so he's kind of like chunky a little bit. Like he's got weight to him, you can tell. He's cute. And then of course Henk, or we call him Henk. He's got a muscular build, so You know, imagine a heavy metal rocker, but he sings different tunes. He's like a big old teddy bear. He's got black hair, black eyes, 6'2", roughly about 240 pounds. And I forgot to mention that Gimble has brown hair and brown eyes. So, now that we got that, and is a wizard. So he probably has a pointy hat. Just for fun. Alright. So, after everyone has finished a round of drinks, Brian starts asking the bartender, I hear there's a cavern, or cave made of ice, that's been in this land for nearly... Hold up. Let me make sure if he would actually know anything about this. No. He knows it's a cavern made of ice that's been around for a long, long time. That's all he knows. Can you point to where it could be? And the barber goes, why would you want to go there? It's very dangerous, and it's been... Nothing has really come out of there for time to time, but many people have gone there and never came back. Many adventurers like yourself. Sir Brian answers with, well, I hear it has untold riches. Maybe, but no one has brought any riches back, so why would you still want to go there? He retorts with, I'm a noble knight, and I must find a way to become better than what I am today, so I can better help protect my town, Eggsample. Of course, at this point, they're kind of going back and forth. Lia is kind of, you know, hating what the hell's going on here, and is trying to see if she can find information on her own. She is going to do a listen check to see if anyone is speaking of any rumors. Now, Lia is an elf. She has enhanced senses, which gives her a +2 bonus to enhanced listening. She's got a +2 to listen. All right, and listen is part of her proficiency, so she has a +6 to any wisdom roll that she does. So, she's going to roll her wisdom check. She does have to score 18 or better, because she's just not very good on wisdom. +6. Oh. Alright, so it looks like no one is talking about... She didn't find anyone talking about anything. It's probably kind of... excuse me for a minute. I am fighting a cold. So she doesn't hear anyone talking about this cavern made of ice. Probably because it's so much cluttered now. You know, people are up dancing around, and it was being livened up. No thanks to Henk. So maybe Gimble will give it a better shot. Gimble, however, does not care about this treasure at the moment until it becomes imperative to him. So he's going to spend another 2 more gold coins, because he doesn't see a reason why there, to have another glass of wine. He's going to roll a constitution check to see if he's drunk. Gimble fails. He is actually drunk already. He's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, oh, hey. And he's like spinning in his stool. If stools spun around in this kind of age. So yeah, Gimble did not conduct himself very well. Alright. So Henk is here to help out everybody else. He's probably the most helpful person ever. He is going to see if anyone's telling him about any place. As a matter of fact, this will fall under one of his abilities as a bard, a legend lore roll. Let me see what that does. Legend lore. Oh, and everything just died on me. Hang on 1 second. Alright, so legend lore roll. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. Legend lore. Oh, check specific events and facts. Okay, let me read here. Alright, bards are lore masters of myth and archaic knowledge. With successful attribute checks, a bard gains and remembers relevant information about local notables and legendary items and noteworthy places. Okay, this will work. Alright. Alright, so he's got to roll a legend lore roll, which is going to be his charisma check. He's looking pretty good. And he fails that too. Holy crap. These guys don't know what they're doing. Hank had too much to drink. They've already fed him his second glass. Now he needs to give me a con check. And he's failed that too. So he's drunk. Alright, so Gimble and Hank are drunk and spilling everything over each other. Great team. Alright. So Sir Brian finds Lia and sits down next to her and says, "Did you hear anything?" And she retorts with, "No, I didn't. Did you find anything out from the bartender?" He says, "I can't, he just keeps saying I shouldn't go there." I don't know why, but these people are very scared of this place. So, alright, please excuse me for a minute. I do have to blow my nose a little bit. I know it's nasty. Like I said, I'm fighting a cold, so give me one hot second here. We're going to put a pause on this. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Like I said, fighting cold. This is what you get for living in a place like this, where it's all snow. Anyway, so Lia turns and she does notice, I'm not going to make her roll for it, she does notice across the way that the two companions that both her and Sir Brian have traveled with is kind of drunk for the night. And they're having a good time, and the place is a bit more livelied up since they began their adventure here. So Lia turns around to Sir Brian and says, "How do you suspect that we're going to find this place? No one seems to want to talk about it or know about it, or we can't get any information about it. And let's face it, this is an Arctic wasteland. We could die out there." And Sir Brian turns around and goes, "Exactly. We should wait till dawn." What is it? Nighttime? We're going to say it's nighttime. They arrived in the nighttime. Maybe it's nighttime. If there's 30 days a night, maybe it's nighttime during this 30 days. Leah's like, we need to hurry up and find the location. So they're going to start bantering back and forth. All right. So now they're going to need a place to stay for the night. At least until they can regroup and get their two compatriots back on their feet. So everybody buys a night at the inn, and I'm going to look that up to see what a night at the inn costs. Which there should be something like that here for cost. Okay, it's under equipment. Let me see here, looking through the book. Room and board stay is approximately lodging. We're just gonna call this a port inn. We're gonna say one. Well, the nights can be very. Oh, okay. All right, so we're gonna say 1 silver piece for each. There's 4 of these guys. So they each are going to pay a silver piece. I wonder if they all have silver pieces to pay in. Well, Sir Brian doesn't, but, you know, he's down to 44 gold and 9 silver pieces. Lia is... That's her only silver piece. So she's spent. She's like, money's getting dwindled for her, and she hasn't ate yet. That's okay. She can go a little bit without eating. She's got trail rations. Silver piece for Gimble. And Henk did such a good job, they bought him his own room, so he doesn't have to spend any money. Boy, Henk is a good half-orc bard. Man, that guy is pretty good. Alright. So, they spent the night, woke up in the morning. Sir Brian decides that he is going to lead on his riding horse, because he has a horse. See? Riding horse. He took the riding horse off the boat, and he has decided that he is going to lead with his riding horse. By the way, he needs to feed his horse. Horse feed. Horse feed. Horse feed. How much is horse feed? You know what? We'll just say he got some hay. We'll wait for Dawn. Does anyone know what she looks like? Who, Lia? No. I mean, they know what she looks like because they traveled with her from Eggsample. That's how they all met. And they heard of great adventuring, and Lia wants to go there. But, no, nobody knows. Other than that, nobody knows what she looks like because she's been in a dark corner. She probably even has a hood over her head, too. Come to think of it, she probably would do that. And Gimble and Henk, God only knows what those two. No, Dawn. Oh. Dawn, that was a time of day. Okay, got it. Probably the two drunks asked that one. Alright, so, yep, and horse feed we're gonna just say is 2 silver pieces, so he's down to 7 silver pieces now. So he had to feed his horse. Alright, so now they're getting ready to go off and search and find ways. So, it's safe to say that Sir Brian, being a knight, is going to take charge of the team. And has decided that they are going to go off in a direction. Yeah. I could have made a Disney princess joke there. Oh, thank goodness. All right. So Sir Brian has decided to take the lead from the boat, which is probably like down over here. Where's my pointer? Down over here somewhere. And they're going to go off in this direction. They spend roughly about a day traveling in the wilderness because each one of these selections... Okay, so each one of these hexes here is 8 miles. So to go from here to here probably took up half the day. To go to here probably took up another half the day. But he's not going over here. He's going over here. So they're kind of walking around in circles at the moment. Sir Brian is a terrible leader. They're stuck out in the wilderness. Already spent a day and have had not any luck getting closer to the dungeon. Yeah, if they would have left, they would have probably made it there in about 2.5 days. Not even 2.5. So they're out in the wilderness, and they're all freezing. And Lia, of course, being the smart ass that she is, because I think she would be a smart ass, goes, "Oh, great job, Sir Knight. I think town is just back that way. I don't know." Actually, would she know that? Oh, no. She points in the wrong direction. She's like, town is probably back that way, and points in the opposite direction of town. So they're over here in this crazy hex, and she's pointing at that crazy hex, talking about the town being in this direction. So they're directionally so I guess these two are directionally challenged. That's just awesome, right? Having a team that's directionally challenged. They have no idea where they're going in. They didn't get anything worth any information. They're going to freeze to death. Wonder how they made a fire. Oh, wait a minute. Does Gimble actually have a fire attack? Yeah, I know, right? Instead of a ranger, they got a bard. Oh, okay. I guess, well, they all got flint and steel, but no wood. Well, hang on. Let's see if Gimble finds any wood. Because if not, they're gonna freeze to death. Nope. See if Henk finds any wood. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but they're in trouble. They're not finding any wood, and they're out in the cold. Okay, so they're going to be huddling together for warmth, which is weird. I wonder how cold it is. Let's see. Let's do a weather generation, shall we? Lots of things in this kind of situation that could be pretty bad. For them. All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. We are going to say, well, they're the Arctic, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, here we go. So, let me roll the D12 and see what kind of month we're in. 11. It's 0 degrees outside. Yeah, they're freezing. Okay, so it's 0 degrees outside. Frostbite. Isn't survival a general wisdom skill? Yeah. And it is a general wisdom skill, but none of them are proficient with wisdom. None of them's got wisdom as a black dot. So unfortunately, they've been rolling lower than 12. See, here's how everything works. When you have a skill at a primary, or say an attribute at a primary, which is a wisdom skill, or strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, you only have to score at bare minimum a 12 or lower. And it is all set by the Castle Keeper. But when you don't have it as primary skill, it's usually 18 or higher. Once again, also set up by the Castle Keeper. Castle Keeper generally doesn't... I don't know about most Castle Keepers that play this game. Me, I don't do a lot of like tweaking with that. So generally, you'd either have to roll at a lowest number of a 12 or the highest number of an 18 or higher. None of these guys have been getting anywhere near any of that stuff, so they're kind of in trouble. I get what you mean, because yeah, that would be generally yeah. And so yeah, so Sir Brian has a wisdom of, and let me show you the character sheets here. Sir Brian, as you can see here, has a wisdom of 8. Lia has a wisdom of 12, also 0 modifier. Gimble has a wisdom of 12, 0 modifier, and a wisdom of 8 with a -1 modifier. Oh yeah, 8 has a -1. So none of these guys are above average wisdom. They're all kind of... Do you think you'd be able to get Gandalf the Grey to come to this area without a problem? There's your answer. You know, I think Gandalf is a very wise person, and I think he'd go, yeah, no. Even he will say, no. But see, here's the thing. None of these guys are that wise. They're all young, intrepid adventurers, seeking glory, and they're all gonna freaking die. 0 freaking degrees, or they're all huddling together for warmth. Let's see. Do they have... Oh, hey, Prismatics. You're just here for the fun. You're watching these 4 characters that I made. I'm doing a solo play. You're watching me kill off my 4 characters that I made. Sir Brian of Eggsample, a human knight. Lia Siannodel, a elf rogue. Gimble, a gnome wizard. And Henk, a half-orc bard. So welcome to the party. They're all gonna die, freezing to death. They're not even gonna be attacked. I don't even think I'm gonna dignify them with being attacked by any. Well, you know, maybe if they do get attacked by some creatures, they can at least you know use their carcasses as a way to stay warm, like how they did in the Star Wars Episode 5 when they were on Dagobah. I'm wrong. There doesn't seem to be a general survival skill at all. But I use survival is still a wisdom check. That's how I do that, you know. So they all have crappy survival because they are not very wise. They don't know what they're looking for. They should have stayed in the cities. All right, moving on. You know what? So as they're all huddling together for warmth on this little glacier, going, this is stupid. Why'd we do that? And the horse is, of course, a horse, you know, because remind you, there is a horse. Sir Brian does have his riding horse, and it is his best friend. They all get approached by, like, these figures, and they go, and these figures don't really have much of anything on them. They look like they have, like, patches of old armor, and they go, ooh, fresh meat. Okay, I can't do a good orc, sorry. And they look up, and the group sees Sir Brian, Lia, Gimble, and Henk, and even the horse is freaking out a little bit, goes, you know, they see that they're being attacked by a bunch of orcs. Orcs come out of the little storm, you know, I wouldn't say there's a storm going on. It's just 0 degrees. The freaking weather's hitting their face, and they got giant snowflakes. So visibility sucks. And so they suddenly get ready for battle, and it's like, one orc goes, a nice elf for us to, you know, to take with us. You know, as an after snack, we can eat the other ones. And oh, look at this! Look at this! One of our brethren. Hello, brother. Ah, you think you're gonna be a singing tune? Yes, I guess meat's back on the menu, boys. He's like, you know, you let these humans dress you and do whatever, right? Okay, well, we're going to kill him first because he's a traitor. We're going to cannibalize him. We're going to eat him. And then we'll take the elf as a snack, and we'll eat the rest of the other two people after we finish the main course, which is our half-orc brother over here who thinks he can sing. And then we'll take the horse, too. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And, of course, Sir Brian is like, you know, being all noble, goes, "You will not have any one of us on the menu tonight," as he draws his weapon. And he slowly draws his nice long sword, just for dramatic effect, is slowly drawing it. Dramatic effect. Alright, there are 6 orcs, and only 5 of these guys, so they're outnumbered by 1. Excuse me again. Nose. Cold. Arctic. I'm already in there. Alright, so now everyone's going to roll for initiative, including the orcs. And I'm not going to roll for individual orc rolls, so that's going to be kind of stupid. Alright, let me see here. We got... okay, Sir Brian's got a 17. Awesome, so he's going to... Okay, Lia's got a 15. Awesome. Any of them got like a dexterity? Okay, so Sir Brian's got an 18. Lia's got a 17. Hank's got a 3. He's going to be useful later. And then Gimble has a 19. Okay, good. And then the orcs have got a 15, per se. Yeah, they just got a 15, so... They get to go after Gimble and Sir Brian. Fireball, damn! I'm only first level! Alright. Alright, so Gimble gets to go first. Alright. Gimble. He approaches within a range, which I don't think it's got to be very much. I think it's 60 feet, but we'll check. Gotta look at my magic. He's going to use Burning Hands. Yes, yes, yes. Gimble. 134. I gotta make sure I'm using this right within the proper range. Oh, it's only within 5 feet. Wow. Not a very big range. So it's going to be basically a semicircle, 5 feet long, and 10 feet wide. So he can take out 2 creatures. So Gimble gets close to the orcs. And his hands, he has, Gimble I think also has a staff. Let me double check that. Gimble's holding up his staff. Oh yeah, he does. Holding up his staff. He gets in his hands, and all you see is hands glowing red. As he shoots Burning Hands, which is only goes 5 feet long, but 10 feet wide. He's going to try and aim for 2 orcs. Alright, so with the way the spell works... Okay. Well, and these guys do have hide, so this will actually burn them. So he gets so he does 1d2 plus 1 damage for 2 orcs. So 1 plus 1 is 2. For 1 orc, he's got 2 for 1 orc and 3 for another orc. How many? Oh, crap. And so he shoots this little pea bull shooter and lights the clothes on fire. And they're like, oh god, oh, we're on fire, drop, stop, drop, and roll, stop, drop, and roll, stop, drop, and roll. So suddenly, two of them are actually stop, dropping, and rolling. But they're still in the game. So next is going to be Sir Brian. Yep, Sir Brian of the Eggsample is going to go. And he's going to do the one thing that he always knows how to do, and that is attack with his longsword. And he is like, I've got this. Maybe. Oh, well, maybe he does. Holy hell. He scores an 18. Not a critical, unfortunately. But they only got a 13. So now he's going to roll damage for a 1d8. And then he's also going to roll another 1d8. It's going to be rolled because he may get a nice headshot. We'll see. Now, the reason why I'm rolling a d8, this is what I'm going to have all my players do. You roll your damage die, and then when you roll your damage die, you always roll a d8 for bipedal creatures. And if the creature's not bipedal, I'll have you roll something else, because I have a random hit chart. If you don't want to use a random hit chart, it will always default to the torso. But the random hit chart to me also helps out with play a little bit, because then you can because if the head takes on so much damage, it's an actual instant kill. And it doesn't have to always be a critical or a fumble to roll that dice. You just have to declare that you're rolling that dice. So I'm going to declare that I'm going to roll a d8 to see where Sir Brian's sword hits for a bipedal creature. Or humanoid creature. So, my damage dice is 7. Unfortunately, I got a 4, so that's the torso. And unfortunately, what would make this a bit more dramatic is I have like 7 points of damage. These orcs are not very powerful. So what I like to do is, as the two orcs that Gimble attacked is stop, dropping, and rolling, Sir Brian took it as a front, as they're stop, dropping, and rolling, to quickly stab them both right in the chest. So as they're stop, dropping, and rolling, he managed to swipe one and stopped him in his place, picks up his sword, and then takes another one. One had 2 points damage, one had 3. So between the two of them, that was only... Well, one had 2 points of damage, and one had 3. So that's only 3 points of damage, which he rolled a 7. He rolled a 7. Actually, I think he even had more damage than that, to be honest. Yeah, he had a +1, so he rolled a 7. So he did 8 points damage, and all that damage went to a huge amount of waste, because really he took away he killed 2 orcs easily, and only used up 3 of the point. Only 3 points of his damage got used up. I don't like having characters that have all this damage and they do all this damage to one enemy, so I usually carry it to another creature that was maybe nearby. But since those two were kind of like stop, dropping, and rolling, and they were kind of like together on Gimble, the other 4 orcs were probably off in the distance, so yeah, that wouldn't really work. So next is going to be Lia's turn. Lia's taking this moment to sneak away. I mean, she's a freaking elf. Well, she's also a freaking rogue, so she's going to take this time to sneak away. She's going to move silently away and hope nobody notices her. Wow, holy crap, that's a lot. 9 and 8. 17, she succeeded. Don't think nobody noticed her. Nobody's noticed, but Lia has disappeared. Probably someone's noticed that she's gone, but max damage to the first one, remaining to the second in a cleave. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I don't like it. Like, I had some DMs. I'd like 10 damage. Like, oh man, you decimated him. You only need like 2 hit points, and I'm like, yeah, I did 10 damage. So, if it helps you think about a cleave, yeah, I kind of like that. And it also helps keep battle. The reason why I do that, Archer Colin, is I do that to keep the battle going. I mean, I did 8 points of damage and still only took out 2 orcs. That one orc had only one hit point, and the other orc only had 2 hit points. So that still wasted like 5 hit points worth of damage. I wonder if they also had damage wastage. I don't know. Like, it's probably pretty. I don't know how other GMs do it, but I think Castles and Crusades, I think they also have it where you damage the armor if that's the case. I'm not sure. I just don't like having all that, like 5 points of damage is like, that's a lot. I could have taken out a whole nother orc with that. And maybe only had one point of damage that hasn't gone anywhere. But a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people say, no, you got to roll individual ACs for each and every orc. Well, not if you didn't expect the first guy to kill your guy. Or the second guy kill your guy. Those two were stop, drop, and rolling. So, it's debatable. A lot of things are debatable. If there's something that you do have an issue with, please let me know as a player, and I will try and come up with that. Alright, so moving on, because we are running out of time here. And we only have, literally, 4 orcs left. And the horse is tied up. Keep forgetting about the horse. Alright, so there's going to be orc on Sir Brian, an orc on Gimble, orc on Henk, and then an orc on the horse, who is tied up. Sir Brian. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, so an orc does attack Sir Brian. An orc draws his falchion. He has a falchion sword. And he does 2d4 plus 2 points of damage to Sir Brian. That's 8 points of damage. Wow. Sir Brian gets stabbed in the gut. And he's like, oh! No, it's how terrible. Oh, he got a good strike on me. Alright, now one on Gimble. Oh. Six points of damage. And Gimble, without notice, all he sees is this Felchian orc just swiping him into the air. And blood is just spraying everywhere. He's down to -2. Already. And he's like, oh! Man. Talk about not living very easily. And then there's Henk. Oh, God. This was a terrible group. Six and 8. And Henk was attacked. And he's, all except for... Alright, so now let's see if one of those orcs is gonna... Oh, God, no. Yeah, no. They failed. So nobody found Lia. And Gimble's on the ground bleeding out to death. Henk is severely hurt. And so is Sir Brian. And he's like... Sir Brian turns and goes, such cruel treachery. That's okay. I will die for my cause. So we're going back to Gimble. Gimble already used probably his one. Let's see, how many spells per day can he use? I think he can only use like one level 1 spell. So Gimble is just going to attack with his staff. Oh wait, Gimble can't even attack. He's down. He's got to roll me a death check. Which, death checks do not occur a lot in Castles and Crusades, but to me they do. I call them either death check or luck rolls. It's whatever the hell you want. In this case, probably not really anything worth mentioning on luck. Oh, hey, look at that. Nope. Well, poor Gimble did not make it. Maybe. Maybe he did. I don't know. We'll figure that one out in a minute. He didn't succeed, though. I think we can go up to, like, -10. Alright. Poor Gimble did not make it. He's bleeding out. Even worse. Alright, now it's Sir Brian's turn. See if Sir Brian's going to attack another hit. Oh! Sir Brian is feeling it. He's feeling his wounds. He's succumbing to his wounds. And then... Oh, wait, we forgot to... Henk forgot to take a turn. Totally forgot about it. Well, Henk finally figured out how he's going to take his turn. Let's see here. What can bards do? They can't do much. He's going to pull out his rapier. And no cleric to heal either. Yeah, I know. That's what's kind of shitty. No cleric. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, hey, look at that. So, Henk, because we forgot to take his turn, did pull out and did stab one of the orcs right in the chest. Wait, hang on. Was it the chest? It was the chest. And the orc just smacks it away. Ha 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 ha. He's still alive, for the most part. But severely damaged. Alright. So Brian is succumbing to his wounds because he missed that attack. Henk went, and now it's time for the orcs. Make the bard cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter just for the heck of it. Yeah, hey, bards are not magical in Castles and Crusades. They don't have any spells. Alright, Sir Brian. Oh, nothing. Wait. Nope, nothing. Gimble's down. Oh, yep, Henk is gone. Henk is gone. Here we go. Henk's finished. 5 points of damage. -3. Henk takes a Felchian sword down to -3. He is down for the count. Bleeding out. There is a lot of blood all over the snow. Alright. We still got another orc is going to be looking for... Ooh. Ooh. 19. Wisdom check. 18. Bare minimum. He needed a 19 at least. So, nope. No one still found Lia. Lia's still hiding. And now time for the horse. The horse, who is waiting for commands, is going to get attacked by the orc. And also gets hit. And the horse, oh, didn't know. I just heard Bard and thought of a spell. My knowledge with D&D only Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate. Oh yeah, fair enough, Briz. 10 points of damage. And this is why low-level D&D is known as Snuff D&D. Well, the horse was attacked. For 10 points of damage, but he is loose. He is broken loose and now has the ability to attack. Probably someone has let him go. So we're going to have the horse roll and see how well he does. Yeah, I'll take that. And so, as soon as the horse gets attacked, The orc is like, yes, I'm gonna get it. He gets buck-faced right into the, like... Oh, yes, I'm taking that one. So as soon as the horse gets attacked, he gets right behind the horse, and he's like, horse meat! And the horse just goes, nee! And, like, bucks his head right off. And the head, like, flies through the air and just, like, rolls. And, like, his spinal cord is there still. And the freaking orcs are looking at the friend, but this blood is splurting out like a fountain. And he's like... And he falls down. So, yeah, there's only 3 of them left now. Alright, so Lia has been missing for very easily 2 rounds. Well, 1 round she did take a turn. She's going to take another turn real quick, doing a back attack. Which I think she gets a +4 for. So let's figure this out. And then we are going to have to figure this out because I'm going to have like a storm. The horse should have an attack as well. Yeah, he just attacked. Yep, because I forgot about him. Oh, nice. Well, it definitely did a... It was a successful move silently, so +4 to hit and then double damage. Okay, sweetness. So let me see what she does. And the rogue is probably an archer. Yeah, she can attack from a range. Alright, so she gets a +6 to hit. So, don't fuck this up. She can attack from a range. She's behind them in the wilderness. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. Okay. Magic arrow, anybody? Oh, no, she doesn't get a +6 to hit. She gets a +4 to hit, and her total to hit if she uses short bow at a range from behind, which I think back attack you could use a ranged weapon in Castles and Crusades. Let me figure that out. I don't have a lot of friends that play a lot of... Nope, back attack must be with a melee weapon. It does say that in the rules. Okay, fair enough. Oh, but that doesn't matter. She gets a +3 to hit. I scored an 18, so 21 easily. And it's going to be double damage. So... 4 points of damage. So, very easily... And she also gets a movement to try and hide again. I'm going to give her that because that's going to be fair. And it's going to be a move silently. Ooh. Okay. Scored. So, as the orcs were distracted by their friend being decapitated by a horse, they noticed that the orc that is further back from everybody just fell to the ground and bled out all over the snow. And now they're looking to see what's going on here. Both orcs are going to make a wisdom check to see if they can figure out what happened to their friend. Nope. Oh, and God, no. Wisdom check to try and spot through this is going to have to be successful. Because I did roll a successful, so they'd have to score like no more than a 20. They both got lower, so they didn't even see what happened to their friend. Silent kill, commando style. Yep. They didn't even see what happened to their friend. And they both just wasted a turn. And Sir Brian, and so now they're distracted a little bit. So that gives Sir Brian a nice opportunity to attack. I don't know if they would get anything for a distraction roll, but, you know. 12. Since they're distracted, yeah, I'll give it to that. And Sir Brian and still torso. So Sir Brian as they were distracted, shoves his sword right in the back of one of the orcs. And the other orc sees it, and as he takes his blade out of the back of the orc, because they were distracted, the orc was just shocked. So shocked, he didn't see it plummet right into his chest. And he hugs the orc, and he falls back with him. To make sure the orc falls right onto his sword. So, yeah. Yeah. Well. Okay. Nope. All right. And definitely no. And one more. Nah, that would be good. Alright. So, Gimble and Henk are bleeding out all over everywhere. They're still alive, but barely. Barely. I'm going to allow... so the way I'm going to do death checks, and I've decided I'm going to do them like this. Whatever your minus... So, Gimble went down from full HP down to -2. So every time they fail a death check, the negative HP doubles. So -2 becomes -4. -4 becomes -6. That's how it does it. But it doesn't double from like, doesn't go from like -6 or -4 to -8 or anything like that. We're not gonna do an exponential. Next character would be a cleric. Yeah, they're gonna need one. And then for the bard, it would be divisible by 3 because he had -3 HP. So for every death check that I have to roll for him, it'll be -3 per one. So -3 becomes -6 per failure. So they can each almost... so Gimble can actually fail 2 more times. Hank can only fail 1 more time and then he's dead. But you know what? The easy way about that is we also have... I think the crew here has bandages. And they're gonna run some first aid on them to stop them from bleeding out. And probably run back to town. We're gonna say they finally made it safely back to town because they accidentally ran around in a circle and ended up right smack dab back in town without even knowing it. But let's run a first aid check here. Hang on a second. And then we are gonna have to call it, because I'm going to have a banshee full of children running into my office going, hey, what's going on? Okay. Well, you know the crappy thing about first aid? It also is fucking wisdom. Given that they probably all have bandages, is that any sort of first aid? Well, yes, but it sounds fun. Yeah, but they still have to roll a first aid check with the bandages to see if they can make sure the bleeding stays in there. And they've all lost a serious amount of food. And the crappy part is the 2 people, one's got a 8 for wisdom, one's got a, don't forget rule 1, search the bodies. Oh yeah, definitely. They'll probably do that in a minute, but they gotta save their friends, because if they don't, they may have some problems later on down the road. Alright, so Sir Brian's going to try and heal one person using his bandages. Does Lia have bandages? Lia does not have bandages. Only freaking Sir Brian does. Does Gimble have bandages? No. Does Henk have bandages? No, only Sir Brian has bandages. And I believe it's 2 usage uses up 1 bandage. So I guess Sir Brian's going to be the one making all the rolls. Okay, that failed. Oh! He uses up his bandages, but nothing happens. Nope. Okay. Well. They are at the mercy. Okay, so we are going to have to continue this to see how I'm going to feel as a GM, because at this point, Henk is possibly dead, and Gimble is dying still, and Sir Brian did not know what the hell he was doing with the bandages. Let me roll that again. Okay. Much better. Much better, but still no dice. Well, they made it back home. And the better swarm. Yeah. Oh, well, they do search the bodies. And there's loot. There were 6 orcs, and we will have to generate their loot, because the way it works in Castles and Crusades, it just tells me the treasure type. They have treasure type 1, which I get to generate the loot from that. So, yeah, everybody, that's how you do it. If you got a prime attribute, if you have a prime attribute that you're rolling for, your goal is usually 12 or lower or greater, depending on what the Castle Keeper allows. And then if it's not a primary attribute, if it's a white dot, then it's 18 lower or higher, depending on it. Usually it's higher. It's always higher. So yeah, use the crap out of those primes. Did any of them have intelligence as a primary attribute? Because navigation is an intelligence skill. Oh, really? Yeah, that was Gimble. That was Gimble, but Gimble's on the slab, possibly dying. and nobody wants to take orders from a gnome. Gimble's kind of like the free spirit too, so I did not know that. Good, you learn something every day. Alright, so I have completely made a complete ass of myself, while you all get to see me with this nice cool background. Yeah, I've been sitting here for an hour playing with myself. I know how that sounds. XP, these guys do get XP, but we will worry about that later. We'll see if the characters are going to be better for another solo play, and we'll try and do this again. So hopefully you guys have gotten, learned a lot from this video. Yeah. Prismatics, are you laughing because the only one with the navigation skill is bleeding out and is the wizard? I think he's the only one with the intelligence skill, or the intelligence primary attribute. Well, hopefully you guys learned a lot. I'm going to be doing another solo play with these characters. I've pretty much done voices for you, made a complete douche of myself. Pretty sure Jace will probably clip this and go, hey, look, here's Tabletop playing with himself. Good joke, huh? Alright, well, it's on the primary skills list that I have anyway, and I have a couple questions regarding how those skills work as well. Yeah, there is... so let me answer some questions real quick for everybody. There's really no primary skill list for Castles and Crusades. As I said, that was someone who'd kind of freeformed his games. I don't know if I'm doing that quite. But I mean, I wouldn't say freeform per se. I will chase to do that. Prismatics, if you do that, I will make you play Evil Dead with me. Okay? You should have been there last night, you know. Frickin' Chris and I had a hell of a time, but don't do that. All right, let's see here. Let me. Oh boy. No, you showed us how to think about the party we create. No, you showed us how to think about the party we create. Yeah, but it was kind of late and I need sleep. Yeah, good point. All right, so when it comes to primary skills, like when it comes to skills, there really is no primary skill list. That's why like if you have a prime attribute, like, say, intelligence. That is pretty much what you would count as a primary skill. Now, I mean, navigation. You know, I'm surprised that is navigation part of the secondary listing. I gotta check that. Let me check that real quick. Because if it's not, I may put that down there because that should be like that should be a skill list somewhere. Because the way I do it, Colin, the easiest way to tell for me to help you make sense of how I do it is if you have an attribute and like say you roll a survival skill or something. You know, survival in most games is like a wisdom check. You know, I will use your wisdom modifier. You just gotta show it which game it's from. You know, like D&D, Pathfinder. I mean, I will adapt those, but I would not put that on your character sheet because when you put stuff like that on your character sheet, I do count it differently. As I told you before, because like when you do a secondary skill list and you put a 1 for taking it, but you know it's got to count for. You got to account somewhere for taking it because if not, you can have. In Castles and Crusades, it's very easily for you to have an OP character. As you can see, it's also very easy for you to not have an OP character. And I pretty much like the challenge of Castles and Crusades. We're definitely going to have to be very careful with that. So, it is grovels to the GM. Well, it should be kind of logical. I kind of would like an intelligent person to navigate the team of people. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Well, first off, I also played off on their alignments a little bit. You know, Sir Brian is trying to be a leader because he's got the leadership quality. Plus, he's lawful evil. He does not take orders very well for those who don't follow the law. Gimble is kind of like a free spirit. He's, what is he, a neutral good? Chaotic neutral, maybe? I think he's chaotic neutral. Yep, he's chaotic neutral. So he's kind of like, he's all about freeform and freedom, and he does not give a shit about taking orders. He does not give a shit about giving them either. So yeah. So here's what you should do for your your party. And that's the thing. I played based how their personalities would be, not what should help benefit them. Now, of course, at some point they're gonna, you know, if they do get a second chance, and they're probably gonna get it because we're gonna do this again. Now, Sir Brian's probably gonna take a step back and go, "Hey, I should do this." No, if I haven't already, I can upload the list I found. Reason I looked in the first place was because having secondary skill kind of suggests there should be a primary ones. I do agree with that. Let me read through the books and discern how I'm going to make that ruling on that. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to make a ruling on that because they didn't really tell us how we should have skills, and we never really did play like that. So, and there is no skills list to go. There is no skill list on the sheet. So, I think, like I said, I'm going to make a ruling on that. Don't have to upload it. I'll find it myself. But if you want to, go right ahead. I'll take a look at it. But definitely get back with you guys. But the way I normally do it is if intelligence is your primary attribute, you can get anything that, you know, look at any game. Oh, navigation, spot check. Well, spot check is wisdom. Never mind. You know, like if it's wisdom, spot, and perception, you're already proficient with it. You're already good with it. You really don't. They don't really lower the goal length being no more than like 12. Of course, the castle keeper can limit or you know, make the goal length lower if they want. You know, based on whatever it is. You know, usually you wake up from a dream of exploring the Arctic wastes and reflect on what you've learned. Yep. Except, here's the thing. They're not dreaming. They're in real life. They're like, oh my god, we're still here. This wasn't a dream. Anyway. Yeah, let me take a look and we'll figure out how to do that a bit more with the primaries. But yeah, you are right. Secondary would suggest that. I didn't really think about that until just now. Huh. It's been a crazy month trying for me to make adventures for you guys. Adventures of Paramore does come out December 16th. We are still looking good for that. So, yes. All right. Well, I've been rambling for about an hour and a half. You've seen a guy, basically sit here and solo play through this with voices and everything, which is embarrassing, but I did it. I did it for you. I did it for you guys, for your entertainment and for the players to learn a little bit easier about how Castle Crusades is, and not to worry and overthink things. But there is a lot of things to concern ourselves with. So, before. When I leave, as I'm leaving out, I would like to let you guys know we are going to do this again. I'm probably going to do this again probably Friday. And then I'm going to be also releasing something else on Friday. So, not going to tell you what that is. You guys are going to have to check on my channel. So, if you like what you see here today, please... The guy playing with himself. Priz, I hate you, Priz. Alright, well, anyway, if you guys like what you see here, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I will have actual plays coming out with actual people in them. It's just, I did this for my players who don't understand Castle Crusades or that are just starting out in it, to show them how they work. Well, I may be going to replay the old Bard's Tale games, and that is how they do the hint/walkthrough guide. Okay. Alright, well, I don't really have much else to say here, and I'm not going to keep rambling. So you guys have a great and wonderful day, and I'm getting off screen. This was awesome. Have a fun time, and I'm doing it again on Friday. Hopefully. Just keep watch. I'm not even getting the famous tabletop salute today, because I've got a guy making fun of me. Prismatics. Later.